Hello everyone, it's Cynthia and welcome back to my Cynthie Crochet channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this fishnet cover-up dress. For the yarn I'm using 100% acrylic 4-ply 50-gram skeins from the brand Seagull in turquoise. I'll be working with a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and the first step to create is you will also need a tape measure and a pair of scissors. So the first step to create this fishnet dress cover up is to make a slip knot, and to make a slip knot you just make a knot. Once you made the slip knot, you put in the chain and you tighten the knot. Yeah, and in order to make a chain, you're going to yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook, yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook, then yarn over and pull through the loop on the hook. Basically that is how we make a chain, and we are going to make a chain that is long enough to cover both the front and back of the upper body of your upper body, leaving a small gap at the back on each side. This gap will help hold the dress together with a crisscross detail at the back. Make sure the chain, your chain is long enough to comfortably cover your upper body, but leaving a slight extra length so that the crisscross detail will be able to secure it. Be sure not to make the chain too tight or too loose, as it could affect the fit of your dress. And keep in mind the number of chains will vary depending on your size. For example, I am making this for a large size with a bust of 43.5 inches, and I'll be chaining up to, I'll let you know how many chains I'll make up to that point. So I'll be making a chain of 39 inches, and I'll leave the extra 4.5 inches as the gap in the back that will be held by the crisscross corset detail will put at the back to hold the dress. Yes, as you work your chain, try it on periodically to check the fit. This way you will ensure it fits back perfectly before proceeding, and you get no surprises at the end. Yeah, so once you've chained your desired length, I will show you what to do next. So let me complete this chain of camera and I'll come back and show you what to do next. Okay, and just for demonstration, the chain should cover up to this point of your body. Yeah, up to this point. So I have completed the initial chain, and it measures up to the length that I wanted, which is 39 inches, and overall I made a total number of chains which is 185. Yes, now what you're going to do when you've achieved that, you're going to chain an extra 5 chains, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to skip the 5 chains you've made, and you're going to go into, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to skip the 5 chains you made, and you're going to go into the 6th stitch, and you're going to make a slip stitch. And to make a slip stitch, you insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over, and then pull through the stitch and also the loop on the hook. Pull through all to complete the slip stitch. And you are going to do this again into the next stitch. You're going to make another slip stitch, and by inserting the hook, yarn over, pull through the stitch, and also pull through the loop on the hook. And then you are now going to chain 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so after chaining the 5, this time you are going to skip 2 stitches on the hook, and as you can see them, 1 and 2, and then you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd stitch by inserting the hook, yarn over and pulling through. Then you'll insert the hook into the next stitch and make another slip stitch into the next stitch. So that's 2 slip stitches, and then you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd stitch, and you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Then you're going to chain 5. 1, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches, and you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd stitch and the next stitch, and you're going to chain 5, and basically this is the pattern for the rest of the row. You chain 5, slip stitch, you skip 2, 1, 2, slip stitch into that 3rd stitch, and then you slip stitch into the next stitch, and then chain 5. So we'll repeat this across the rest of this row to create this pattern. Then I'll meet you right back and show you what to do next. Okay. Now that we've finished working into our chain, this is how it looks like, and it might looks so far it might look a little twisted, but that's okay. It will straighten out as we continue. So it will straighten out as we continue, and when we ended here, in the end we ended with the 2 slip stitches, and so having reached the end of this row, we are now going to chain 1, and flip the project over like this. So having turned our work, we chained 1 and turned our work, so now we are going to work double crochet into the side of this 1st stitch from the previous row. And to make a double crochet, you yarn over, insert the hook into the side of that stitch, and yarn, and then so to make the double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into that very 1st stitch, yarn over and pull through. Then you have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Then you'll have 2 loops left on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on the hook. And right now the DC might not look like much, but later on, when we've completed the project, it will give a nice clean edge to the gap we leave, and this edge will be perfect for the crisscross lace up detail at the back of the dress. Now from here we are going to chain 2, and to chain 2, you know how to chain 2. You yarn over and pull through the loop. Then we are going to slip stitch into this very stitch, and to slip stitch, of course, you insert the hook into the stitch, yarn over and pull through the stitch and the loop, and this will create a small loop here. So after that, we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and this is going to create a small loop here, and we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch here. And after slip stitching there, you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Then we are going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Then we are going to chain 5 and slip stitch into the next stitch. When you're slip stitching, make sure you're slip stitching inside this loop that looks like this. You should not slip stitch like this, because this will be upside down. You slip stitch in here. Then you chain 5 and make a slip stitch into the next stitch. And now basically this is going to be our pattern across for the rest of the row. So I'll finish this off camera and I'll meet you back at the end of the row to show you what to do next. Yeah, now I've made it to the end of the row, and now that I'm at the end of the row, I'm going to insert the hook into the last stitch with a slip stitch and into this last stitch. Hope you can see it, with our slip stitch. With a slip stitch. And next I'm going to go into the side of the stitch with a single crochet, the side of the stitch here, the side of the stitch here with a single crochet. And to do a single crochet, you're going to insert the hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. And now what you're going to do, you're going to chain 1, and then we're going to flip our project over. So after chaining 1 and flipping our work, we are going to work a double crochet into the single crochet that we made earlier, so that this will create a nice knit edge. And to do that, we are going to yarn over, and then we are inserting our hook into the single crochet we made previously. Yarn over and pull through. Then we are going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and pull through all the loops, and this will create a nice knit edge at the end. Now we are going to chain 2 after making the double crochet, and we are going to slip stitch into that same stitch to secure it. Yeah, and then from here we will continue with our pattern, which is make 5 chains, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch into the next stitch. Then 5 chains again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch into the next stitch. Then 5 chains again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we slip stitch into the next stitch. And we are going to repeat this sequence as we work across the row. Yeah, then I'll meet you right back at the end of this row. Yeah, now I've made it to the end of the row, and now that I'm at the end of the row, I'm going to insert the hook into the last stitch with a slip stitch and into this last stitch. Hope you can see it, with our slip stitch. With a slip stitch. And next I'm going to go into the side of the stitch with a single crochet, the side of the stitch here, the side of the stitch here with a single crochet. And to do a single crochet, you're going to insert the hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. And now what you're going to do, you're going to chain 1, and then we're going to flip our project over. So after chaining 1 and flipping our work, we are going to work a double crochet into the single crochet that we made earlier, so that this will create a nice neat edge. And to do that, we are going to yarn over, and then we are inserting our hook into the single crochet we made previously. Yarn over and pull through. Then we are going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and pull through all the loops, and this will create a nice neat edge at the end. Now we are going to chain 2 after making the double crochet, and we are going to slip stitch into that same stitch to secure it. Yeah, and then from here we will continue with our pattern, which is make 5 chains, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch into the next stitch. Then 5 chains again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch into the next stitch. Then 5 chains again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we slip stitch into the next stitch. And we are going to repeat this sequence as we work across the row. Yeah, then I'll meet you right back at the end of this row. So we've made it to the end of this row, and at the end of this row there are 2 stitches like this. So we are going to chain 5, and after chaining 5 we are going to slip stitch, and this time when we slip stitch at the real edge, into this stitch. I hope you see it at the real edge here. Yeah, and then we chain 1, then we are going to flip our project over, and we are going to make a double crochet at the side of this first stitch. Then we are going to chain 2 and slip stitch into the stitch to secure it. And and after that we are going to chain 5 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Chain 5, then slip stitch into the next stitch. Then chain 5 and slip stitch into the next stitch. So this is going to be the pattern all throughout, and when we, the pattern all throughout, and the pattern is going to be on this side of the work. We simply slip stitch into the last stitch, chain 1, turn our work and do a double crochet at the edge of the work, chain 2 and slip stitch. Then we work across to this other side, and this other side, when we get to the end of this stitch, we slip stitch into here, and then we enter a single crochet into the side of this stitch, and we chain 1 and turn our work, and we make a double crochet into the single crochet we created previously. Then we chain 2 and slip stitch into this stitch, and we go back across and we repeat the pattern, and that will be the pattern until we have a length that is up to our waist. And I'll show you one last time, and then you'll be able to do the rest of the rows up to when you have the length that reaches your waist, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. And so we've made it to the end of this row, and we are going to chain 5, and then we are going to slip stitch into this stitch, and then we are going to insert our single crochet into the side of this stitch, chain 1 and flip our work, and we are going to insert a double crochet into the single crochet we just created before we turned. Yes, and after making the double crochet, we chain 2 and slip stitch to attach. And as you can see, the double crochet is giving it a nice edge. Then we go back to our normal pattern, which is chain 5 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Then chain 5 and slip stitch into the next stitch. Slip stitch into the next stitch, then chain 5 and slip stitch. And so basically it's going to be the pattern across. And when we get to the other side, on the other side, what we do is on the other side we just slip stitch into the last stitch, chain 1, turn our work, and we make the double crochet on the side of the very first stitch, and then we chain 2 and then slip stitch. So we'll be alternating between those row ends. On this side, we when we are ending the row, we single crochet, chain 1 and turn. On the other side, we'll be just slip stitching normally, then we turn our work, and then that's when we'll do the double crochet. Yes, so that we have a straight edge on both sides. So if you've not understood, please go back on this video to get to rewind back on this video to see how you'll be ending how you'll be ending the row on both sides. And that is quite different because we'll be doing one thing on one row and the other one thing on the other row. So please go back on the video and you'll be able to see. So I'll meet you right back when you've made when this length has gotten up to a size that is up to the waist. Then I'll meet you right back and show you what to do next. So I've been crocheting for a while, and this is the progress I've made so far. Yeah, you can see this measures up to 22 inches whole. Like the front panel and the back panel both combined measure up to 44 inches, but if you divide it by 2, yeah. So I just wanted to show you how I joined a new ball of yarn to a project, because I've been crocheting for a while, and I was using 2 strands of seagull, and one of the strands has run out. So I just want to show you how I joined the strands. So basically, when I'm joining the strands, I just get a new ball of yarn. This is a new ball of yarn, and I get the strand that is about to run out, and I just join them together. I join them together in a knot. Join them together in a knot like this. Now they are attached, and I keep crocheting. And of course, when I'm crocheting this new knot, then I continue crocheting with a normal pattern, chain 5. And slip stitch in the next stitch. Yeah, so this is a strand that we made. Yeah, so when you've joined the strand, it's better like you cut them off with a pair of scissors. Yeah, so that they don't get in your way when you're crocheting. So you can carry on with the pattern, and I'll meet you right back to show you what to do next when I've achieved the length up to the waist that I want. I've achieved the length that I want, and that's up to here. Then from here we are going to join the panels together. So I've been crocheting, and for a while now the project fits the top of my chest, and even if yeah, from the top of my chest to my waist, as I've shown you. And even though the work is for someone a bit bigger than me, trying it on myself also helps me to get a good indication of where to stop. And I've decided this is the part where I want to stop. So we are now, I'm at the part where at the part of the project where I want to do the lace up at the back, where we are supposed to do the lace up of the project at the back here. Yeah, so having crocheted, and we are at the bottom of the work now. Yeah, now we are going to do the lace up portion that will hold the work together, part of the work together. Yeah, but also if you want to, for this to be like one, like not to have a lace up, and you just want it to be like one piece, you can stitch it up together. But for me, I'm going to to do the lace up. Yeah, because when you do the lace up, it gives like more room for more good fitting, because someone can be able to adjust the crisscross lace up to their desired size. Yeah, so we've gotten to the end. We are going to chain one, and then we are just going to go back up to the bottom, to the top of the dress with a single crochet. And to do a single crochet, when you've chained one, to do a single crochet, you insert the hook into any stitch really as evenly as possible, and do your single crochets to go back at the top of the work. And I'll meet you back when I'm at the top of the work, so we can make a long chain that we're going to use for the lace up of the work. And remember, we are going to do this chain also on the other side of the back of this top. Yeah, so yeah, on the back of this top, so that the lace up is on both sides. So I'm lacing it up here, and let me meet you right back when I'm at the top of the dress. So we made it to the top of the dress, and basically what we're going to do, we are going to insert just one last single crochet into the last stitch, and then we're going to chain a chain that is long enough to do the lace up. You can yeah, to do the lace up. I'll let you know what the number of chains I make. Let me, yeah, and to do the chain, you just chain and pull through the loop, chain, yarn over and pull through the loop, yarn over and pull through the loop, yarn over and pull through the loop, yarn over and pull through the loop. So we are just going to just make a chain that is long enough to do a lace up at the back, and then I'll meet you right back. Yeah, so I'm back, and I've made a chain of 160 chains on this side, and this is what we shall basically use to lace up the work like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off the yarn here, and I'm going to join it on this other side, and then we are going to make a chain of 160 chains as well, and then we are going to come back and lace up the work, and I'll meet you right back. Yeah, so we are cutting off the yarn on this side after chaining one, and then we pull tight to tighten. And now we are going to join our yarn at the bottom of this side, at the bottom of this side of our work, at the bottom of this side of our work, and we are going to single crochet all the way back up. You're going to single crochet all the way back up, and then we are going to make a chain that is similar to the chain we made on the other side, a chain of 160. Yeah, yeah, so you chain one and then single crochet. There is no specific stitch to go into. You just have to make sure that you place the single crochets as evenly as possible. So let's single crochet all the way up to the top, and I'll meet you right back up. Yeah, so we made it away all on at the top, over this side as well. So we'll place one last single crochet into the very last stitch, and then we are also going to proceed to make a chain long enough, a chain of 160 chains, just like we did on the other side. And after we've done the chain, we'll come back and lace up the work, then I'll show you what to do next. Yeah, so we've chained the 160 chains on this other side as well, and I'm going to cut the yarn, pull through and tighten, and now we are going to lace up the work at the back together. And to do the lace up, all you have to do is get both sides of the work, the chains we've made, and like we just lace them up. By the way, you see this needle, it had a yellow handle when I was starting this project, but I had to take it off because it kept coming off and inconveniencing my progress. Yeah, so we just have to pull through on this side. Then also do the same to this side and pull through. We can be counting the stitches 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, so that it's matching. It's a matching alternation of the lace up. And you also pull through on this side. Yeah, my needle had fallen. Now then we also pull through on this side. So pull through on this side. So we lace up on this side as well, up to when we get to the bottom. And then we lace up on this side as well. This is the last side. Yeah, and basically that's the complete part of our work. We've completed the first part of our work. Yeah, and then we are going to proceed from here and work on the bottom part, and I'm going to meet you right back and show you what to do next. So that we've attached our work together now, what we are going to do is now we are going to insert our yarn, because we had cut the yarn off. We are going to insert our yarn into the corner. Actually, we're going to insert our yarn into the corner here and attach it again so that we can start working on the bottom part of the dress. So to insert the yarn, pull through here and just make a knot to tighten the work. And for more secure fit, you can also tie the knot with that stitch already there. Yeah, so what you're going to do, we're going to come pull through here, and we're going to chain up our 6 chains. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, so but 6. And then once we've chained up those 6 chains, we are going to slip stitch into this other part, into the corner of this other part. You're going to slip stitch. Yeah, so basically our 2 sides are now joined, and now we are going to start making it. It's going to become one project, and it's going to be in a circular round. It's not in a circular motion. It's not going to be a separate project anymore. And also make sure that before you proceed, when you try this over your shoulder, it fits you properly. That's how you know how many chains you need to make here. If it fits you over your shoulder perfectly without any issues, then that's fine. But if it doesn't fit you, then you'll have to adjust. Yeah, so this is how the work looks like. And now we are going to proceed working on the circular motion with a 1 normal pattern, which you all know by now, which is chain 5, slip stitch, chain 5, slip stitch. So once you slip stitch, you're going to chain 5 and then slip stitch into this stitch, chain 5 and slip stitch into this stitch, chain 5 and slip stitch. So basically we're going to continue with our normal pattern all around, and I'll meet you right back when we are here before the chains we made. So let me see you right back. So we are back at the here. We are close to the chain we made, so we are going to chain 5. 1 2 3 4 5. We've already chained 5, and we are going to slip stitch into the edge here. We slip stitch into the edge here, and later on when we are done, we can cut these loose ends with a scissors. So we're going to continue here. We skip 1 2, and then in the third stitch, sorry, we chain 5, and then we skip here 1 2, and then in the third stitch we shall insert our slip stitch, just like we are doing before. Then 1 2 3 4 5, skip another 2 stitches, and in a slip stitch we insert our, the third stitch we insert our slip stitch. Then 1 2 3 4 5, skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch, which is almost at the corner here, we insert our slip stitch. Then 1 2 3 4 5, and we insert a slip stitch into this stitch. 1 2 3 4 5, a slip stitch. 1 2 3 4 5, a slip stitch. So basically that's going to be the pattern all around. We're going to keep going all around until we get to our thighs, and I'll be right back to show you what to do, but I'll keep showing you the progress that I made. So see you right back. So I've been crocheting, and so far this is the progress of my project. Yeah, and also I've had to make a few increases because I wanted the waistline to be a little bit like tighter. Yeah, because the bust is bigger than the waistline. So in order to make decreases, all you have to do is chain 1 2 3 4 5, and if you want to make a decrease, you realize you're supposed to go into this next slip stitch into here. So what I do for the decrease, I just basically do this and pull through. Sorry, I just basically do this and pull through, chain 5 1 2 3 4 5, and then yeah, skip this and then slip stitch here. Yeah, then after that you can carry on with the normal pattern. If you need to see this again so you can understand it, you can go back on the video. Yeah, but that's how you do the decreases. And for the increase, for the increases, I'll show you when you get to the part over the hips, because for the hips I would like to make them like the work to be a little bit cleared out. So I'll come back and show how to do the decreases, the increases for the hips, so that the work can be like a little bit like wider to accommodate the hips. But for now I wanted the waist because the bust is bigger. The bust is bigger than our waist, so I wanted the bust was 44 inches and the waist is 36 inches. So I wanted to reduce so that the waist can go up to that size. Yeah, and I also forgot to mention that as you make the decreases should be like spread out. Yeah, they shouldn't be close to each other because the work will be like a little bit messier. So for example, if you make a decrease in one stitch, then you can chain up to like 6 stitches of no decreases, and then you make the decrease there so that they are widely spread out and the work doesn't look so congested, because when you make the decrease the work becomes congested. So spread them out, and also you can keep, like, as you decrease you can keep measuring with a tape measure to see if it has gotten decreased to the size, your desired size for your waist. And if it has decreased, yeah, then you stop decreasing and just keep following the pattern round and round and round until we've gotten to the hip side, the hip part, where we shall need to flare out the work again by making increases, and I'll meet you right there. Yeah, so I've been crocheting for a while, and this is a progress so far, the progress of the project. And I've got to a point where I need to make a little bit of increase so that there's a little bit of more widening of the project. And since the customer had told me she doesn't want she doesn't want a proper fitting, she wants it a bit loose. So in order to increase, when you've chained 5, so instead of going through this stitch, do you see this stitch? Yeah, you go into that space. I hope you can see the space I went into. In case you didn't see, let me like just do it again. You go into this space and do a slip stitch. Yeah, then you chain 5, and you go into this next stitch and do a slip stitch. So you would have you would have made an increase here, and then you can carry on doing your the normal pattern, which is you chain 5 and then slip stitch into the next stitch. And so these increases, you can do them you can space them out. For example, you can chain like 10, then you do an increase 10, and like that, keep space, and if you keep spacing them out like that, and that will create a gradual increase and a flare out of the project, which will make it look good. Yeah, but also you remember, you don't have to wait to get to the hips for you to start doing the increases, because it's a gradual flare out, so you need to start increasing a little bit earlier before you get to the hip section. Yes, yeah, so I'll let you know when I start my increases for the hip section. But now I'm just making an increase for the waistline, because my customer told me that she doesn't want the project to be too tight on her body. She wants it a bit loose, with a little bit of space for breathing in and out. I guess that's what she meant. Anyway, so that's why I did that increase, and we're still on the waistline, but we are gradual. Yeah, so I've been crocheting so far, and this is a progress I've made. Yeah, so now I'm going to start increasing for the width, because now we are at the waist, but I want it to be a gradual increase, so that the width goes on increasing, so it can accommodate the hips, which are 44 inches, and right now we do have 39 inches for the waist, and we want to increase up to 34 inches. So for the increases, I said I will be increasing like this. So we've already chained our 5, and usually instead of going through this stitch, we go in between here and we slip stitch in between here. That's an increase. Yeah, then you chain 5, and then you slip stitch into the next stitch, and that's how you make an increase. For these increases, I say that they should be spaced out so that your work is not so congested. Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, so we're going to be increasing. You can increase like every other row, like you can increase every after 6 stitches, and when you measure and you've acquired the width that you like, then you can stop the increases. Yeah, but this can happen like over a few rows, probably like 3 rows or 4 rows. It depends on how you are spacing out your increases as well. Yeah, but usually, so for the increase, that's what I wanted to show you, so you can like space them out accordingly. Yeah, so that you can have like a gradual nice increase for your hip section. And I also keep doing that, and I'll meet you right back when I've achieved enough with it for the hip section. So I have been crocheting for some time, and the length I have from the top of my project, when I measure up to, yeah, from the top of my project, when I measure up to here, it's 30 inches. And I would like for this project to have a slit on the side, and I counted 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that's where I decided that I would like the slit to be. However, if you would like the project to be without any slit, you can continue working round and round. Let me just flip it over. You can continue working round and round the project without making any changes for the slit. But personally, I would like for it to have a slit, and for me, in order to achieve this slit, I've marked the stitch where I would like the opening for the slit to be, and going forward, I will not be working into this stitch anymore. I'll be skipping it. And in order to Yeah, so in order to skip this stitch while we place the stitch marker, instead of chaining 5 this time, you'll do a double crochet on the side of this on the side of that stitch, like that. Make a double crochet, turn your work, chain 3 and slip stitch into this stitch. And after this, we are going to go back to a normal pattern of chain 5 and slip stitch, chain 5 and slip stitch, and then we'll do it all around up to when we get back to this slip stitch, and I'll show you what to do on that side as well. So let me see you when I'm on that side. So we've crocheted all the way back to the other side of the stitch marker, and as you can see, we have only this stitch left. So instead of chaining 5 and slip stitching into it, we are just simply going to make a double crochet and on the side of that stitch, and you go through there, the double crochet, then turn the work, and in the first stitch you chain 3 and slip stitch. Then you go back to the normal pattern, chain 5, slip stitch, chain 5, slip stitch. And so basically that's going to be the pattern throughout up to when you acquire the desired length for your dress. Yeah, and that's how you have the slit there. And as I said, if you don't want the slit, you can as well just make it run and run and run until you achieve your desired length. Yeah, so let's complete that, and then I'll meet you right back when I've achieved the desired length. Yeah, so when you're back at this point of the stitch marker, it will look something like this. So you chain your 5 and slip stitch into here to the stitch, and then from here you're going to do the double crochet into that stitch on the side where the stitch marker is. Yeah, turn the work, chain 3, slip stitch into this stitch, and then we carry on with our normal pattern of chain 5, slip stitch, chain 5, slip stitch, and yeah, until you acquire your desired dress length, and I'll meet you right there. So I am back, and this is how the slit has turned out, and I hope you can see. Yeah, from here worked all the way to down. Just to note, after 7 rounds, I realized that the gap here was getting more wider and larger, and the stitches were decreasing. So I stopped using the double crochet at the end. Instead, I reverted back to the normal pattern at the end of each gap where I reverted back to a normal pattern at the end where the slit is, and I finished off with the normal finishing off. I finished off with a chain 1, turned the work, and then chained 5, and then I slip stitch into the next stitch, continuing with the normal stitches for the rest of the row. I hope this makes sense. So here, remember, here we're ending with a double crochet, but now instead of ending with a double crochet, we ended with a normal we ended with a slip stitch. Yeah, we're ending with a chaining 5, slip stitch, chain 1, turn the work, and then chain 5, slip stitch, and carry on with a normal pattern. Okay, now we are here at the end. Now I just plan to clean up around the slit by inserting single crochet all around the gap where the slit is. And so I will start from this side, inserting the single crochet, then I'll meet you right back. Yeah, I already chained 1, turned the work, so I'm going to start inserting single crochet all around this edge of the slit, so that our work is clean. And also make sure that for the single crochet you don't have a specific stitch to go into. Just make sure that they're evenly spaced out so the work looks neat. Yeah, they're evenly spaced out so the work looks neat. So I'm going to go through these with a slip stitch all around, and then I'll meet you right back here at the end. Just to note also, when you for the single crochet, you can insert into this middle point as well, here where the slip stitch was. And then we are in the chain 5 spaces, you can insert 2 single crochet or 3 single crochet, based on how the spacing is with your work, because we don't want for it to come out when it's shrunk, so you have to space it out evenly. Then I'll meet you here. So I worked my way around to this other side, inserting single crochet at the end of the sleeve, to ensure like it has a good finishing. So I'm done, and I've chained one, and I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut the yarn and pull through to tighten. And then I'll also proceed to weave in these ends. Usually I like to use a scissor. Usually I like to use a needle to weave in these ends. Yeah, so you weave in the ends, then after weaving in the ends, you cut the loose strands that will be hanging outside. Yeah. I'll meet you right back after. So right now our dress is ready. Don't know if you can see properly. The dress is ready right now. So basically it's going to be like an off shoulder, and if you want, you can leave it like off shoulder, but if you don't want that, then you're going to put the straps. So I've already marked the points with a stitch marker here where I'm going to put the straps for the shoulder, because I don't want it to be so let me meet you right there to make the shoulder part. So I'm back, and I'm going to show you how to make the straps for the shoulders. So I will remove the stitch marker, then I'm going to insert the yarn in here. I'm using 4 strands because I would like for the straps to be a little bit thick. Yeah, a little bit thick, so it's for comfortable for whoever is going to wear these. So you make a knot here, then I am going to chain one. I'm going to chain one, then I am going to chain a strap that is as long as I would like, the strap that will tie behind the neck. Yeah, so I'm going to count how many chains I will make, because I'm going to make exact same number of chains on the other side. 3, 4, 5. Let me meet you right back when I've made the chains, and I'll let you know how many I made. So I made 80 chains on this side, and I'm going to proceed to make 80 chains on this side as well, and then I'll cut the yarn and we'll come back and fix these ends. So we are done making our straps, and we are just going to weave in the ends here. And usually what I like to do to make the straps knot tighter, I like to separate the strands into 2. Then I tie the knot here to secure the work further. Yeah. Then I cut these loose ends with a scissor. And this side where I cut the loose ends, that's the wrong side of the work. That's the inside of our work, and on top, that's the right side of our work. So make sure to do that. Yeah, cut off the strands, and voila, we are done with our project finally. I'm just going to try it on the dummy so you can see how the work turned out, and I'm glad. Let me show you shortly. So this is the back part, how the dress turned out. I'll also show you the front part. Yeah, and this is the front part of the project. I hope you guys like, and if you enjoyed watching this, please subscribe to my channel for more beautiful tutorials like this. Yes, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.